Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account, the link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available, the link for that too is in the description box below. Hey guys, hope you're well. So in this video, I will be doing a Q&A session and this is my first one on YouTube. So I do a weekly Q&A on my Instagram channel and this time I got some bug on my Instagram, because of which what happened was that I couldn't answer those questions there. So I thought that I would just do a Q&A session here and answer all of those questions. Now, whenever I put up a Q&A box on my Instagram channel, I get more than 100 questions. So it's not possible for me to cover each and every question. But what I will do is I will answer most of them and I will answer the questions that I think will benefit most people. One thing is I will also be reading some questions. These questions are not the ones that I would answer, but this is for people because I get a lot of frequent questions on my page, right? And these are people who are in these are my followers who are in some way hoping that I would be able to answer that question. And because Instagram is not the correct platform for me to be able to cover that, I will just tell you here why it's not possible for me to be able to answer that question. So let's get into it. The first question is, can I manifest a job in a specific company? Yes, definitely. So if you're wanting to manifest a job in a specific company, I would want you to write down how you feel and how you would feel if you get that job, right? Make that basic clarity for yourself and the qualities in that job that you would want. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going towards any job in general. What this means is when you are manifesting a job specifically in a specific company, you also have to know what kind of things do you want in that job. So we want to be as clear as we can. We want to know how we feel. We want to know what kind of salary we are looking at. We want to know what kind of colleagues we are looking at, how our boss should be, how our subordinates should be. So writing that down and formatting an affirmation for that would be very helpful. Next question. What action can I take to change my self-perceptions in different areas of my life? So the first thing that you have to understand is your perceptions come from your beliefs. So first thing to do is to check and correct your beliefs. Now this is something which you can do through affirmations, through night tapes, through anything that you want to go with, any manifestation technique where you can target your beliefs. But even after you have changed your beliefs, your first perception, your first instinct perceptions can still be on an opposite note. I will give you an example. So let's say I'm someone who has lived most of my life from the belief that I'm not good enough, right? And then everything that I perceive, I just automatically assume I will not get, because why would I get it? I'm not good enough. And let's say I go on a first date with someone, and then after I come back home, for the next day, this person hasn't texted me. So my first perception in that moment is, oh, maybe they will never text me, right? Because why would they text me? Now, when this first perception comes, a lot of times we judge that first perception that, oh, if I have worked on my beliefs, why is this perception coming? You don't have to judge yourself for that first perception because it's a part of your instinct, right? The way to change that is in that moment to pause. So everything gets helped with a pause. So pause yourself. Okay, let me pause. Is this perception in correction with my belief? Is this the perception that I would hold if I was someone who was loved and valued and cherished? Because if the answer is no, then what would it be? Maybe I would assume that this person maybe is busy and will text me. Maybe I wouldn't be thinking about this situation. So that's how you can see which perceptions are actually helpful for you and which ones are not. Next question, how to increase your self-concept? I know I have got to get a good self-concept, but I don't know what to do. Now, there are many things that you can do because self-concept is a very complex topic. And anyone who wants to work on their self-concept, I would highly recommend my self-concept course. It's getting an update soon, so this would be the correct time to buy it because the prices would increase then. You can check it on my website or you can just check it on my Instagram channel in the highlight called course. In there, I have also posted some feedbacks for the course. So if you want to check it out, you can. But some actionable steps, the basics of that would be: one, fixing a routine for yourself, fixing up your diet, your sleep, learning to manage your perceptions, and then making sure that the things that you do are done for you, not to try to get your manifestations. If you just start with these things, just these basic things, it should have a high impact for someone who is starting in their self-concept journey. Now, as you will grow, these things will become a basic and then you would want to do more. But that's a separate thing because by that time, you would have to invest in more knowledge about this topic. Next thing, how to deal with the negative images popping in my mind when it comes to my manifestations. Now, this is resistance. So for this, you can follow my steps of resistance. I will be making an updated video on that too, where I will talk about a few more steps that I have acquired, which help me handle resistance better. So the video is linked down below. You can check it out. It will help you. Most effective way to manifest money. Now, this question I didn't answer, and I didn't even try to answer because I couldn't answer this question without getting into the psyche of the person. So this is one of those questions which is not possible to answer, and this comes under the same category of when people ask me questions which are very, very generic. How to manifest my specific person? What should I do in my circumstance? The thing is, guys, I don't know you, right? I don't know your circumstances. I don't know your past. I don't know your history. I don't know what your conditioning has been. I don't know what kind of beliefs do you hold. So when someone asks me these kind of questions, a lot of times it's not possible for me to answer because it would be highly irresponsible of me. I can advise you something, right? Let's say someone comes to me and tells me that, hey, this is the situation. Should I put up a boundary or not? And I tell them to put up a boundary. But in their situation, the boundary was just coming from a place of insecurity. So they do put up a boundary, but it just sabotages their situation. I don't know that because I don't know you. In these situations, I can only help one-on-one in a coaching session. Without that, it's not possible for me to just answer exactly what your situation is without fully knowing you in detail. So it's not that I'm ignoring these questions. It's just that it's not possible for me to get into your psyche and know you without actually talking to you and without actually being in a session. But for me, the most effective way to manifest money has been, I ask myself, what was the last time in my life that I felt wealthy and abundant? Whenever I start to think about that, I just hold that image in my mind and I just hold on to that feeling. Just holding on to that feeling and combining it with my revision challenge, which is also linked down below, has been very helpful for me to manifest money. Next question, how can we manifest for someone else? So one thing you have to realize is when you are manifesting for someone else, eventually that's you still manifesting for yourself, because when that person will get what they want, you would feel the feelings that you would feel seeing them happy. So what you should focus on is the feeling that you will generate, not the feeling that they like, not what they are going through, but the feeling that you will generate, because eventually your manifestation is seeing them in a particular state of feeling and having something. So when you imagine yourself feeling that feeling, that is what the goal should be. Next question, how to overcome your fears? Now, again, another very generic question. Now, fears are going to be in many, many capacities. Let's say someone has a fear which they need to face, right? For example, if I have a fear of swimming, I can only face it by going to swim. If I have a fear of success, I can face it with getting focused on doing things that can make me successful. But let's say I have a fear of being abandoned. That's something I cannot face by doing something, right? So that's another thing that comes with beliefs and that you have to work on them. So again, a question which is very general because without knowing the situation, it cannot be answered. How can I stop having negative thoughts? That's a question that comes from a misunderstanding about the concept. So you shouldn't be focused on not having negative thoughts, because eventually thoughts are thoughts. Based on what we want in our life, we either call them negative or positive, right? So instead of saying, how can I avoid having negative thoughts? Tell yourself, how can I perceive these thoughts that are coming in my mind in a way which helps me improve myself? And when I'm getting these thoughts, how can I be non-judgmental towards them? Because a lot of times what happens is we provide this a meaning that, okay, I shouldn't have this. So if I have this means I'm doing something wrong. But it's based on this judgment that I have provided it, based on the feeling that I have generated by calling it something that I shouldn't be getting. But negative thoughts can be instinctive. So sometimes when they come on instinct, like I explained in the example before, that is not necessarily wrong because it's not fully in your control. That's one thing that people who talk about manifestation going into toxic positivity is that someone can tell them, like, let's say someone tells them that, oh, any negative thought that you have is wrong. Now some thoughts are just out of instinct because they have been living in that way of thinking for a while, and when they actually judge themselves for having that thought, it just puts them into a place where they feel defeated, and that they go into the toxic positivity zone where they are not just trying to have any negative thought. which in my opinion, is not personally possible. So instead of thinking about it from that sense, think about it, how can I change my perception of these thoughts? And you can apply the same steps that I advised in the starting of this. Next question. What if you get a mix of positive and negative thoughts about SP in no contact situation? Now, again, a question that cannot be fully answered, because why are you in no contact? What is the reason that you are in no contact? Was the no contact because you created a boundary? Was the no contact because they just blocked you? Was the no contact because you were ghosted? Or were you never in contact in the first place? Is your desire based on an attachment, or is your desire actually based on something powerful inside of you? Knowing these things is something that will help you deal with these circumstances. So first, before worrying about this, ask yourself these questions, and these answers are someone any coach can help you with better. Next question. When is the science video coming? Oh, the science video is already out. I just posted it 2-3 days back. So I will link it down below. You can check it out. Question. How to know you are ready for a relationship? So first thing is, this concept of being fully healed and fully prepared for something is not something that happens in real life. Most of the times when I have gotten success in relationships and even in my career, I have not been fully ready for it. So I don't make my manifestations conditional on that thing. So it's not based on perfection. I have to be perfect before I get it. So I just put a condition that before getting it, I'm not going to be successful, right? There are many things that you wouldn't be able to experience before you are in a relationship. So let's say I talk about, that I am wanting to be in a relationship with that person, right? Now I can imagine it and I can get into the feeling of it, but how it exactly would look like is something I would only get to know once I get into it, right? So once I get into it, I would be able to experience it, and I would be able to go deeper into understanding why it is there. So this question is what is important to understand is, you can work on yourself, but some signs that will tell you that you are prepared for a relationship is, you are not easily triggered by just someone not calling and texting you one day. You are emotionally stable. You know how to regulate your nervous system. You know how to show up for yourself. You're not compromising on your self interest and your self hobbies and just your day to day life just to be with someone. You're not trying to manipulate someone into loving you. You're not always emotionally very, very volatile. These are some signs that can help you understand that, yeah, right now getting into an intimate relationship is something I can maintain. Next question. Is action required to manifest a job? Well, in my opinion, yes, but it is not as much as we think. So this video, I wouldn't be able to cover this because this is a huge topic, but I made a video about action and inspired action, which I will link down below, so you can check it out. I have explained there in what situations you should take action and in what situations you shouldn't. Next question. What can you do if you feel you cannot visualize all clearly? That's totally fine. There are many other techniques. Imagination is not just visualization. It's feeling work. It's affirmations. It's scripting. My favorite way to manifest things is feeling, right? I focus on the feeling more than anything else. So what I would recommend is, instead of just worrying that, oh, if I cannot visualize, I cannot manifest, focus on the feeling state. You can use other techniques. You can pick any technique that works for you, and that is how you can manifest what you want. Next question. A suggestion to stay calm while applying for a job. A good question, a very good question. Now, the reason that we are not calm usually is because sometime in the past we have faced some failure, right, in relation to that thing. And what happens is, our mind tries to protect us because it does not want us to feel blindsided if we are rejected. So it tells us that, hey, prepare for the failure in the first place, because if the failure happens and then you're not prepared for it, then you're hurt. The best thing to do is to tell yourself in your mind that I am changing on a regular basis. There is no evidence to believe right now that this job won't come for me. There is no evidence for fear or faith, right? I can pick one. If I am picking to stick to faith in this moment, then how it would look like is, let's say I do get the job. What then? How would I be perceiving it? So going into a positive spiral towards it is something that would be highly helpful for you. I heard that manifesting X is hard. Is it true? Well, I would say that it's a deeper question. So let me answer it in the best way that I can. Manifesting in general in love is slightly easier than manifesting a specific person if you have a lot of stories about that person in the first place. Because when we are manifesting love in general, we are slightly open to the opportunities where we have to deal with our stories towards ourselves and where we have to deal with our stories about relationships. But let's say people who are manifesting a specific person, they have stories about that person too. So when that person is changing, sometimes we can hold on to that earlier version of that person so closely, because to a certain degree we don't want to let it go, and to a certain degree we don't want to actually allow ourselves to feel vulnerable again because we are scared to be hurt. So in this situation, like depending on the situation, again, forgiveness work, inner child work, resentment work, changing your perception of love, relationships, men, and this person would be highly helpful. So those are all the questions for today. If you liked the Q&A, and if you guys will comment down, like you can just comment down below your questions, and if this video is something that you like, I will try to make more videos like this, and I will try to cater some questions, like I will give first priority to the questions that are written down below. Again, try to focus on the questions that I can answer in a general way without knowing you. So hope this helps, and I will see you guys in the next one. Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions, and I will see you guys in the next one.